My name is Michael Dana. In 2008, I was diagnosed with a rare brain cancer, and after 6 years, I was cancer-free. But the ordeal left me changed, with a different outlook on life and a new sense of priorities. While still recovering, I earned a degree in economics from UNC Chapel Hill. My studies taught me to analyze data and open my mind to see things differently. I also started formal training in the martial arts to better defend myself and use it as a means of extreme physical therapy. Since then, I've obtained black belts in 3 martial arts. I own and run a martial arts school and have logged over 51 teaching hours. To my friends and family, I'm a simple business owner. But to the martial arts world, I'm something else. I am Sifu Mike, and this is Dragon Theory.
Hey guys, how's it going? So, if you've seen the thumbnail image for this particular episode, I'm like, because this is basically my pet peeve as far as teaching is concerned. This is going to be another teaching episode, but if you're not interested in teaching, you definitely need to watch this thing still so that you can understand what is being done to you as far as being able to recognize good teaching versus kind of so-so. Right, because this happens enough times to where I need to make a video to address this. Because, like I said, it just annoys me, and I was on the receiving end of it for a very long time. This is actually a thing that is very common in martial arts that like to spar a whole lot, right? And working the situation, only they're not really working the techniques in the situation for both sides. That's the thing. Is teaching the wrong person, right? And they don't even realize they're doing this. Okay, they're teaching the wrong person while they're trying to teach one person. So basically, I know it seems complicated once I get into examples, and it'll make more sense. Real quick though, if you go to thedragonmethod.com, that's thedragonmethod.com, I've got video tutorials on martial arts where I'm going to teach you correctly how to do everything. Okay, so I'm not teaching the wrong person, I'm going there teaching you, right, because you're watching my videos, right? You can also check me out on the YouTube channel tkfmma and all my social medias, but definitely check out thedragonmethod.com. So, getting that out of the way first, let's get back to this guy as far as like teaching the correct person the correct thing, right? And I see this all the time. I'm going to start with the weapons example because I definitely see this a lot as far as like the Filipino weapons is concerned, or just any kind of weapon, right? And so it is essentially teaching really good defense against a really crappy offense, and then at the end of the class expecting everyone to be really good at the offense that they didn't actually work. Okay, so let me break this down for you because, like I said, a little complicated. What you have is that a lot of times a person will be told they're going to stab like an idiot or slash like an idiot. Or they're not going to do this correctly, or they're just going to leave their hand out as they do this so that the person working defense can actually work the defense. And they work it very well. Alright? And they go back and forth, one person doing the stabbing, the other person doing the defense, right? And then at the end of the class, they're both given a knife and told to spar each other. Okay? Now, in that situation, they both have worked the defense correctly. But neither one of them have actually worked the offense correctly. They're both basically taught to stab like an idiot, right? They're not taught the correct offense. Instead, they've got a really good defense to a crappy offense. That's really not going to help you if you go against somebody who has a really good offense. Alright? So, it's just, like I said, it just baffled me that they spent this entire time teaching the wrong kind of offense and teaching a really good defense to a bad offense. And then expecting the person to be good at the offense that they just did. I mean, so many people say that you're going to do on the street, you're going to do based on how you practice, right? And then those same people go back and have people practicing like they're gonna wield a knife like an idiot. And the same thing goes with like punching and kicking, right? You know, Dragon 80, if there's a punch or whatever like that, you know, it's just these defenses, the techniques, they're really good, but they're against the person doing a really crappy offense. And then the offense is not actually taught and how to do it correctly, which is why whenever you see certain sparring situations, both parties never actually do any of the techniques that they're trained in class. Okay? Because they're both trying to be offensive and defensive at the same time. And the thing is that most people are counterfighters, right? And so they need somebody to throw that first punch or kick or stab or whatever like that. And often they don't know how to do it correctly because they're just told wrong. And so it never works out. And like I said, big pet peeve of mine because it happens all the time. Even like especially in the Filipino like stick work. Like I've seen the stick work. If you ever watch people stick spar and then stick train, right? 9 times out of 10, sparring doesn't look anything like what they trained in class. Okay, sparring might just be glorified whack-a-mole. Okay, that's because the techniques that they do in class, they're actually supposed to be the other way around, if that makes sense. So think of it as person swings a stick, you block, then you counter and do all kinds of stuff like that. When in reality, you're supposed to be offensive. You're the one swinging the stick, they block, then you counter, right? But we go from a defensive mindset because of where we're at, right? But back in the day, there wasn't a defensive mindset. It was very much an offensive mindset, and the offense was like, you're going to be fighting these guys, right? So you're attacking first. But if you're going from a defense, self-defense, I got to be attacked first. If that makes sense. So they're putting in the wrong order, which is why when you see these really awesome things that work really well in practice, when they spar, it doesn't happen because they're meant to be done offensively. And the person thinking is strictly a defensive move. Okay? They don't understand. And their lack of understanding is coming from the person who's supposed to be teaching them. Like I said, it pains me almost to watch this happen, because I'm kind of like, hey man, you spent the whole class teaching this great like defensive technique against a really crappy offensive technique. You spend the whole class teaching everyone how to do an offensive technique terribly, right? So whenever I teach classes, 9 times out of 10, I'm always teaching the defense and the offense the same time. Okay, a lot of places they'll teach you like the attack, and then they'll wait till the next rank to teach you the counter to it, and then the next rank is counter to that counter, right? I like to put them all together. Okay, some places they go in reverse. They teach you the defense and then teach you the attack later on, or they don't teach you the attack at all, and you're just kind of left to figure it out, right? You deserve a whole lot better, right? You deserve to know the attack and defense at the same time, because you're going to understand how to do the defense so much better if you can do the attack. That's the thing. If you're good at the offense, then it'll make you better at the defense because you know all the little intricacies that go involved in doing that particular technique and that offensive technique, right? You know what has to be done for it to work, so you know exactly what to do to make it not work. Makes sense. Alright, so you have a lot of places, like I said, training the wrong person. Alright, and then a little caveat onto that, this is not their fault, it's the instructors not knowing is that they are teaching techniques that were designed to be used in one setting, but they're trying to kind of shoehorn them in to this other setting and it doesn't work. So they're actually teaching the wrong techniques. They're teaching almost useless techniques and they don't even realize it. They're good techniques. They work really well for what they were designed to do, because they don't know what they were designed to do. They just teach them anyways and they don't work in that little situation. This is very similar to teaching the stick offense as a defense and then wondering why no one ever does it. Okay, because it's not an actual defensive move, it's an offensive move that is done as a counter whenever they're trying to block whatever fight you're doing. Okay, so it's really a different way of thinking about the whole thing. And again, this comes from a teaching perspective. So you as the student, how this then applies to you, right? When you're taught a technique, ask all the right questions as to why you're doing it. Why was it done in the first place? Who are you doing it against? That kind of deal, right? If your instructor doesn't have all the answers to every single question you have about the thing that you are doing, then it's kind of like an if. Like, they need to have that. You might be like, are you just doing this because somebody told you to do this, or do you actually know what you're doing? That kind of deal. Because that is what you deserve. You deserve somebody who knows all of the ins and outs and intricacies of the technique that you are learning, right? And not just having you go through the motions and do this thing because it was written down in a book and that was like the next thing you have to check off for your next rank. Kind of deal. Alright, so you don't want to be wasting your time. You want to learn in the most efficient way possible. Okay? So, that being said, that's my whole thing. Go to the dragonmethod.com, where I got a whole bunch of video tutorials to help you out, because you deserve the best thing possible. So, I got video tutorials for everything you could possibly think, whether it be hands, or feet, or weapons. Okay? Form, got it all. Got it all. Adding to it every single week for the most part. So definitely check that out, dragonmethod.com, and make sure to like, subscribe, and all the good things as far as my YouTube channel, tkfmma, is concerned. Check me out on all the social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I think I might even have a Reddit somewhere. I don't know, I got so much stuff, I can't keep up with all of it. I do try to post everywhere. So, but yeah. Got stuff everywhere. Check me out, tkfmma, and thedragonmethod.com. And check back next week as I'll have more of these videos for you. And yeah, man.